want to take a few minutes and show Padlet Sandbox. When we think of Padlet, most of us think of a traditional Padlet. It's a blank board where kids can add posts to your board. So that post is a single post that can be commented on, and ideas, maybe you're collaborating or brainstorming around a topic. A sandbox is new. When you see sandbox, think to yourself whiteboard. So when I click into a sandbox, you're looking at, imagine you gave your kids each a whiteboard that they could use their dry erase markers on. But this time with this whiteboard, they can do so many more things. So when you see this whiteboard, each of these is called a card. I can go to this plus sign and I can add a new card. I could do one for each student. I could create something on this whiteboard and then duplicate it for my students. So if I created a Venn diagram or some kind of thinking activity, I could duplicate this as many times as I needed, and my kids would have a template of some things that they needed to do. Let's say I wanted to have different backgrounds here. Maybe I want my kids to have a grid. I'm doing some math, slope, intercept, or maybe I'm doing some thinking and I want a Venn diagram. Maybe I'm doing a critical thinking activity where I want them to choose a statement and I've got 4 corners. Okay, maybe I want to choose this fishbone or brainstorming web. Whatever I want to choose, I can put my words, put my ideas, put my pictures in here, and then save. Let's see, I don't want to do that. I want to keep working and save this. And maybe this is what I like, and I want to duplicate that as many times as I need to add one for each student or one for each group. Okay? When the students come over to fill this out, to fill theirs out, they have lots of different ways they can add. So they can add a text box if they need to. They can change the color. They could add a sticky note if they needed to. When they choose that, their sticky note shows up. Imagine if you created several sticky notes and they had to drag the sticky notes and sort them to the right place. Look at this plus 17. They have all of these ways, and so do you, to add to the whiteboard. If they can't draw, AI can draw what they need to draw. They could add a poll and poll each other and quiz each other. They could add an image, a GIF. They could add a YouTube video. They could show their work and do a little video recorder of themselves showing what they've done in class. Or maybe they need to record their screen and add it. So don't forget when you see, maybe they need to link to something, but there's literally nothing here that they can't do. They could even have AI talk for them if they don't want their voice to be heard. So these are all of the different ways a student or you could add to this digital whiteboard. Let me go back and show you my first whiteboard that I started so you could see all of the different things that can be added. So here is my first sandbox, otherwise known as a whiteboard. And again, here's the different things they can do. Add text, draw something, AI can draw. They can add a video right here into a box, upload a picture, add a text, a post-it note, link to a website. Another thing that I really like that they do, that Padlet does, is they give you all of these examples. Let's say I want to go and make my sandbox, and I'm not quite sure what I want to do with my kids. I'm going to look at these examples, and this kind of gives me some inspiration of what I want to do. Maybe I'm a math teacher and I want my students to add some angles. Maybe I want to have the kids complete a flow chart of ideas or a quick comic strip. This reminds me of my familia in Spanish, what they were doing earlier. Here is a writing process guide, an adventure story. Here's the water cycle. Each kid could do, or each student could do their representation of the water cycle. I like this one where they are annotating here. This one has kids taking a picture of a page in their book, and they'll come back and highlight the text to annotate. Again, to add a page or add a card. I'm sorry, this is a read only, so they are not able to add a card, but normally they can add a card right there, and they can add images. So this is just a quick little glimpse into the whiteboarding called Sandbox in Padlet.